I've been involved in my current position, signed here about 5.5 years, and prior to that I spent about 2.5 years as an actual examiner on the front line. So that's been very helpful in my current role as a director. And prior to that I spent over 25 years on the law enforcement side of the motor vehicle industry, and a career with the Nebraska State Patrol, and retired there as a major. And I was in several different divisions within the State Patrol, so I got a lot of exposure to all the various functions of law enforcement. My first exposure to AAMVA was actually when I was with the State Patrol, and I attended a workshop in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I don't remember the year, but several years ago. And then when I was appointed to my current position as a director, my predecessor gave me some very wise advice. And she was involved in the AAMVA community on the regional level and the international board, and she said, you really need to get involved with AAMVA. It's a great organization, very helpful to the department. So from that point, I did get involved at the regional level, and was eventually the president of Region 3, and then also served on the international board, and now as chair of the international board. So I've had exposure at various levels and in various capacities long before here. The folks that have preceded me as chair of the board are all really very talented individuals, and more than just giving me specific tips or tools of the trade, I think they mostly spoke by their actions. And I had an opportunity to watch all of them as they were chairs of the board, and the things that they did and what made them successful, what made them help the organization. And I think that's the best learning experience. You know, mainly it's enjoy the year, learn all you can, visiting the regions and learning about the regions, and I think positioning the organization to continue to be successful. And so I think that's the biggest thing that I learned, just by watching them do the job. As a community charged with the protection of people's data, literally for almost every person in the entire North America continent, data privacy is really becoming a big issue. And there's been some significant events in private industry in recent months that have brought that to the forefront a lot more. So the AAMVA Board has approved 2 different working groups that will be working on that this year, and I think that's going to be a real priority for the board and for us as an organization. In addition to that, AAMVA is looking at doing a 360 of risk management and risk within the agency, or I should say association, but anyway, within the association. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the results and what that brings about, and even shoring up better the work that we do as a community in protecting people's privacy. In addition to that, I think an issue that all of us struggle with is retention and recruitment, and keeping our quality people. All of us have a ton of great people that work for them. I have a ton of great people that work for me, and being able to continue to get good employees and to keep the good employees we have is an ongoing challenge. And next week, or a couple weeks in Region 3, we're going to have that discussion, and hopefully there'll be some further discussions throughout the year on that topic. So I think those are 2 key pieces that will help keep the association vibrant and thriving in the years to come. I think if I could sum up the upcoming year in one word, it'd be learning. And I'm anxious to learn about the different divisions, so what makes them unique, and what are their challenges, and what are they facing. I'm anxious to learn how I can help facilitate the board to better support our awesome staff at AAMVA. We have a ton of terrific people that support us every day, that help make us be able to do our jobs and serve our people. I'm looking at how I can support the organization and provide guidance to the board to keep the board moving forward. And then most of all, I'm looking at learning how I can take away things that can make me a better director and make our agency better back home. So I think just learning about everything we do and all the different areas in our organization and across the country. Well, when my schedule permits, what I like to do is hop in the car and head down I-35 to Texas, because that's where my 2 granddaughters are, ages 2 and 5, and so obviously being about 900 miles away, I don't get to see them as often as I would like. So that's one thing I like to do. Secondly, I enjoy scrapbooking. That's kind of my thing I do to just give me time. And so my perfect fall Saturday is scrapbooking all day and watching college football. I mean, that's 2 things I really like to do. And another thing I do in my pastime is I enjoy baking, especially holiday season baking, and that's coming up. And I've been known to use my employees for guinea pigs when I try new recipes, and so far they haven't complained. So those are the kinds of things I like to do. And then I'm kind of a Husker volleyball and Husker women's basketball fan. So those are the things I do when I get time to do it.